5 simple steps to get leads off Twitter fast. Hey everybody, my name's Brian Fleming from buildingsocialproof.com. Today in this video I am going to share with you 5 simple ways to get leads off Twitter fast. So let's get started. If you are trying to grow your business with Twitter, use these techniques to get more email leads. That way you can later turn those leads into clients. Don't try to sell directly from Twitter. This is a rookie mistake I see people make all the time. What you don't want to do is try to send a bunch of clicks off Twitter directly to your sales page. You're just going to find that traffic doesn't convert and bounces off your site quick. What you do want to do is use them to build an email list, email them valuable emails over time and warm them up so when they're ready to buy from you, they know, like, and trust you, and you'll just close more sales. It's how you do it. It's how everybody that knows what they're doing on Twitter does it. So make sure you're using Twitter that way to grow your business. The number one thing you're going to want to do on Twitter when you're trying to get more clients and grow it is to search for people asking for help. Well, how do you do that? Well, the first thing you want to do is head on over to twitter.com/search-advanced. That's Twitter's advanced search feature. And what are you going to put into their advanced search? Well, let's say you're a web designer and you want to find people that are looking for web design help. Well, some words I would put in there are things like looking for, recommendation, web design. So when people tweet out, hey, I'm looking for a good web designer, do you know anybody? That tweet will show up in your search. Or maybe they'll say, do you have a good recommendation for a web designer? That tweet would also show up in your search, but it's actually not that easy. What you have to do is you have to remember to exclude keywords to filter down the Twitter stream so that you cut down on all the spam, because what you're going to find is for every word you put in, there's someone sending out tweets for their offer. So you'll see ones like, hey, are you looking for a good web designer? Check out my web designs. And by getting a combination of include and exclude keywords, you can make a pretty nice Twitter stream where you can find people that are just looking for help. So when they're looking for help, you're going to reply and say, hey, I can help you out, and this is how. So number 2 is really close to number 1. You're going to search for tweets about your competitors. Well, what kind of tweets are you looking for from your competitors? Well, let's say someone tweeted that they were very unhappy with the service being provided by your competitor. So maybe they're using a web designer who's not responsive. Hey, I signed up with you for a web design and you haven't gotten back with me for 2 weeks. What's going on? Well, you can find those tweets and simply respond back that you're sorry to hear about their experience and offer them a free consultation. So in our web design example, you could say, hey, sorry to hear about that. If that continues, let me know. I can hook you up. I've got an open schedule. Here's some of my design work. Just that sort of thing can go a long way on Twitter because people know you're listening to them. So the first 2 are around finding people that need help on Twitter and just being there and replying to them. Number 3 is to use relevant hashtags. Well, hashtags are huge because they're going to make your tweets go further and more people are going to see them. And remember, tweets with 1 to 2 hashtags are most likely to be retweeted. So make sure in your tweets you put 1 or 2 hashtags than those with none or more than 2 hashtags. So what you don't want to do is put no hashtags, and you don't want to load up your tweets with a whole bunch of them. You really want to put 1, maybe 2. And what you'll find is those are the tweets that get in front of more eyeballs, get you more leads, and just get seen by more people. If you don't know how to pick good hashtags, I recommend going out and checking out the guys at righttag.com. Righttag will do a couple things. It'll scan your Twitter account and look at hashtags you've used in the past and find the ones that have worked out the best for you. And it'll also suggest really good hashtags to use in your tweets. I use them all the time and it really does make a difference. If you put the wrong hashtag in there, it can go nowhere, but if you just tweak it a little bit and find one that has a lot of traction, it can really make a big difference. So make sure to check those guys out and use relevant hashtags in all your tweets. Number 4 is a big one. I want you to use Twitter leadgen cards. A lot of people don't even know what these are, but this is what they kind of look like, and I'll show you why they're so cool in a second. You need to set up Twitter ads to use these, but they are great and totally worth it. You don't even need to run ads with the lead gen cards themselves, but if you go into Twitter advertising, it lets you create lead gen cards and then you can tweet them out without even having to pay for them, but you do need to sign up for Twitter ads to use them. Lead gen cards let people get on your email list with one click. It's really probably one of the coolest things I've seen Twitter do. They don't have to type in their email. And this is huge because everybody on Twitter is pretty much on their mobile phone. And if you think about being on Twitter on your mobile phone and you click on something that looks cool and it takes you to a landing page and then you have to type in your email, that's kind of hard to do on a mobile phone. And frankly, most people just aren't going to do it. But what Twitter lets you do is just stay within Twitter, and with one click, you don't even leave Twitter, the email address gets sent to the person who's running the lead gen cards. Another huge thing is you get their real email. You get the email that they use to set up their Twitter account with, which is probably a much higher quality email than you would get if they were filling in an opt-in form. A lot of times when people fill in opt-in forms, they put in a secondhand email because they think you're probably going to spam them and they don't want spam in their real email. But with Twitter lead gen cards, you get their real main primary email, so that's another huge reason to use it. Here's an example of what a Twitter lead gen card looks like. So you see this in your tweet stream and it looks interesting. Yeah, you want to join the club. So you click the button and then Twitter just says, are you sure you want to share your email with the barista bar? You say okay. You never even leave Twitter. The barista bar gets a confirmation with your email, and there's ways to integrate it to make it sign up with your email list service. It's actually not that hard, but this is probably one of the best ways you can use Twitter to gather email leads. Number 5 is to follow up with your prospects and engage with them. This is really huge. And what do I mean? Well, I always have a prospects private email list on all my Twitter accounts. And when I find prospects, I put them on this private list. Well, what do I do with that private list? Well, I always look at it first. I look at it first before I look at my main Twitter feed. And if they've said anything interesting, I retweet it for them. If they have a question or they've said something, I reply to them and I ask them questions. I engage heavily with my prospects so that they know there's someone behind the brand who's manning it and is actually like a real person back there, and it's just not a Twitter robot just blasting out tweets. So that goes really far. So there you go. 5 great tips for getting more leads off Twitter. Make sure you use these to quickly grow your email list with Twitter. And if you want more tips like this, head on over to my site at buildingsocialproof.com and I'll hook you up with some awesome tips to help you have a complete social media marketing strategy inside of 7 days. Take care again, guys. My name is Brian Fleming, and I'll talk to you again soon.